Let's take a look real quick, real briefly, what we're getting into. So last week we started our electricity unit, and just something to think about is imagine your life without electricity. So have you had the power go out? I think most of you have probably experienced that at some point. What goes away? It's funny, I was talking to my brother yesterday actually, and they had the power go out. And at first, some things in the house died, but some things didn't. And his kids were asking him, "Dad, it's not working." And, they start troubleshooting it like you would normally. "Hey, my phone's not working," or "my phone died." So you start looking for your charger. And then you realize, wait a second, the TV's out. Oh, the lights are out. The refrigerator is out. There are all kinds of things that we deal with every day that deal with electricity. So this is a really important unit. It's one of the reasons why we chose this one as one of the units to go through. Electricity, or electric charge, forms the basis for all chemical reactions. It's how all materials are put together. Glass is glass because of the charges involved. Chemical reactions happen because of charge. The properties of glass versus wood are there because of how electric charge works. It's also such an essential part of our modern living. If the power goes out, it's like the world is over because you can't charge your phone. Your wireless internet runs off of electricity. It shuts down, all this kind of stuff. So it's really essential for what we live with. The electric force is also one of the fundamental forces of nature along with gravity. So we've already talked about gravity, and you're going to discover that the electric force looks very similar to the gravitational force. So this unit is light on the number of equations overall. In fact, we're only really going to talk about the one equation, and it's Coulomb's law. And you're going to notice if you look at it, it looks very similar to the Newton's law of gravitation. The biggest thing to know, though, is it's much, 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 much stronger than the gravitational force. And we'll be talking about that as we go. Let's talk about last week a little bit and then the rest of this week. So last week, you started learning making a study guide for your vocabulary. Please be studying that because energy was rooted in forces and distance and work. All these things were rooted in things we had already been talking about before we started this distance learning. This unit is really going to start getting into things that they are connected, but you may not see it or understand that yet, okay? So be sure that you are really getting into those words and studying those vocabulary words. They're going to be essential, okay? You should have taken some video notes on static electricity and charge, just getting a feel for what we're going to be getting into. And you should have also learned about Lewis Latimer, who was an inventor, but also is more famous probably for all of his work doing patent drawings for patent applications. So really skilled at technical drawings, and like, for example, he did some of the patent drawings for the electric light bulb for Edison. So this week we're really going to jump in. So last week was kind of light because we were really finishing up energy, but we wanted to kind of get you going. But this week we're going to be looking at static electricity. We're going to continue looking at that. We're going to do a simulation that explores that, and we're going to look at Coulomb's law and the electric force between charges. So here's the update that I'm making right now, that you're watching right now. There's going to be a video about Coulomb's law. And then the second one is a video about how matter and the electric force works. So why does glass act like glass and wood act like wood, that kind of a thing. Why do materials act the way they do? That's what that's going to talk about. You're going to do a simulation on static electricity. You're going to manipulate a balloon and sweater and a wall and take a look at what that does. And then you're going to do a worksheet. Now this worksheet goes hand in hand with this simulation. So in fact, you might actually have this open in another tab while you're doing the balloon simulation, and you might be able to answer some of these questions while you're doing the simulation and kind of do both of those together. That might be helpful. Probably on Tuesday, Monday I have all my meetings, but on Tuesday I will probably post this key to this worksheet. Please take a shot at the worksheet before you look at the key. But I've only been posting paper keys, but now I'm going to try to do at least a short video where I step through each problem, explain why the answer is the answer it is. The most important thing is that you get in here and understand why the answers are the answers, so that when you get down to these quizzes, you'll be prepared to proceed. Now, even though I'm posting the key, you still need to work this worksheet and turn it in as well. Then when you're going to have a textbook time, which is going to talk about static electricity and charge, read the instructions. You can do a summary, and I appreciate that, but right now, just to kind of lighten the load a little bit, I want you to focus on the review questions. Then you'll have a practice quiz and the summary quiz like normal. So that wraps it up for this update. The big thing is, if you have questions or need help, I don't care what it is, email me. Some people are posting in Google Classroom comments and stuff, and part of that's because I've been posting comments in Google Classroom, partly because I'm hoping that some people who have not responded to anything I've been sending out might actually see that and respond. But it's really important that you email me and not just post it in Google Classroom, because I will see it eventually, but it might be a week and you can't wait a week. So email me and I can address it right away. That's it. So do your best this week. Email me if you have questions. Come to the Zoom meeting or the Google Meet, and have a good week. Talk to you soon. Bye.